Well, Les Cookson, man, I never met anybody who was into retro technology that makes it so much fun.
And there's a reason people did it so long ago because it is a lot of fun. So
Wow. But also, you went on the internet and raised it. Look, you're up to $3,500 already. You know, and this is for equipment, so you can make gazillions of these things, right?
yeah, so I've been making them in my garage, punching out the slots by hand, and
Uh-huh.
Kickstarter to get some money to ramp it up.
And it's called a Zeoflix, right? And did you have something there to show me or not? You don't have one right in front
Yeah,
of you.
yeah, it's called the Zoe Flix,
Uh-huh.
which is a new version of the Zoe trope is what it was called before. And so here's one right here.
Ah, right. And you spin that around and you watch movies, right?
Yeah, let's
Oh,
see
it
what we
shows
can.
it. Yes, there he is.
Yeah, there you go. We got there's a little cartoon strip inside there,
Right. Oh,
and
that's
it's
wonderful. And you
yeah.
were saying that you're getting these like you were what was that, a filmmakers convention that they're using them for, and weddings and all kinds of neat cool things.
Yeah, they were putting them as a centerpiece at a theater owners convention.
Ah.
I designed a custom animation strip. The animation strips, they look like this. It's just a bunch
Uh-huh.
of cartoons on a strip, and then whatever you put on there, it'll bring it to life.
But
And
it's
so
also
they had it this as a centerpiece at all the tables, so they could
but
see
you can do your
the
own
preview.
animation, right? I mean, it doesn't look that hard to do it. Or kids could do it too. It looks like a great toy.
Oh yeah, you can draw your own. Here's one I drew in just a few minutes. You look in the Kickstarter video. I mean, it's
Uh-huh.
very, very simple, but when it starts moving, it looks really
Like,
cool. So.
well, that looks like my artwork. So,
Yeah, that's something I did in just like 2 minutes without thinking about it ahead of time. And you just put
wonderful.
the
So
time in
now,
it. You can do some cool stuff.
you were on Kickstarter before and failed, right?
Yeah, I failed and learned a lot from it, and got back up, and tried again, and was successful the second time around. And it just shows that you keep trying, keep learning from your failures, and you'll make it.
Well, what are some of the things that you screwed up on the first time besides not listening to your wife?
Oh well, no, it was not listening to much. She kept saying, "I told you, I told you." Uh, there was things about the video that weren't clear enough. The video we did the video and we did it again during the first campaign. We did two videos, and
I
the first
see.
one was super. It just wasn't direct. It wasn't concise. There needed to be a clear, concise message. And a big thing too was just asking for too much money. Looking at
Ah,
Kickstarter and thinking, "Oh wow, look at how much all these projects are
I
raising. We can
see.
raise a ton of money." And then sort of just figuring, okay, we're just gonna
We're
do
gonna get a
whatever we
million
want.
dollars.
Yeah, exactly. And the second time around, I'm like, okay, what do I actually
I
need?
see.
I'm gonna use a lot of the same, instead of trying to do a whole new Zoe trope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna deal with the stuff that I already have, with a lot of the jigs and pieces and parts I already.
So the first time, before we got cut off, you said so the second time you used some of the stuff that you already used the first time and didn't require as much money to fundraise, right?
Yeah, the first time I was trying to just pull out all the stumps, build a whole new Zoe trope, a different
Ah, I
size.
see.
Every piece would have to have been redone, and
Uh-huh.
new equipment for everything. And the second time around, rather than doing that, I realized, okay, I can't be greedy. I can't do everything that I want. I had to focus it down to the core, and just build off of what I had been building in my garage and expand that with the crucial equipment rather than trying to redo the whole thing.
But also
And
being on the web and showing your product like that, doesn't that get you other kind of interest and things like that? I mean, anything else, like maybe possible distributors or people think it's cool and want it for their wedding or things like that. It must help in so many ways.
oh yeah, because you get it on there, and it's gonna be on there forever.
Uh-huh.
And zoeflix.com, that I'm directing people to the Kickstarter. I mean, after the Kickstarter, I'm going to direct that domain name back to the website where
Right.
people can get it. And it's something where Kickstarter is not just about raising money. It's about getting your name out there, getting your product, your idea, your artwork out there, so people can see it. And it's a much more engaging platform, so people are interested because they
Right.
want to be part of it.
They're
And there's a lot of
shopping.
they're shopping, but they're helping you in the creation process.
Yeah.
They can give you feedback. They give me feedback. I can incorporate that in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And people who have a lot of the ideas of their own, they see someone else with an idea and they want to jump onto it because it makes it more fun. You make them part of the process.
Oh, wonderful. So you have an R&D team of thousands of people that are helping you. And for a guy working in your garage, I mean, that's very important, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, it's you can't overemphasize that part of it. It's not, Kickstarter is not an online store. It's an online community where people work together to bring creative projects to life, and it's something that you can't. And that's what creates excitement about it. Like, I've been selling these zoetropes, making them in my garage for a while, and I've they're going to be in some movies this year. And
I know some big movies like The Lone Ranger, even, right?
The Lone Ranger. I sold 4 of them to Disney for the Lone Ranger. And then one of them ended up in the background of the movie for 10 seconds. I was like, oh.
As seen in The Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger for 10 seconds in the background.
It doesn't matter. You can say it in your ads. That's what counts.
Yeah. Then later this year, Saving Mr. Banks with Tom Hanks.
Oh.
Tom Hanks is going to be playing Walt Disney during the making of Mary Poppins. And my Zoetrope, what I'm calling the Zoe Flicks, is going to be sitting on Walt Disney's desk.
Wow.
So I hope it.
So you're on Walt Disney's desk.
Yeah.
That's true.
And they didn't. And Saving Mr. Banks production team they couldn't go borrow one of the 4 that I sold the Lone Ranger. They had to buy a whole new one for themselves.
Boy, these people aren't very creative, are they?
I don't know. I think maybe they want a few extra ones because they get them. They probably want to take them home afterwards.
I see, especially for their kids. No, I mean, it's just a wonderful social thing too, to show people, to have it on the middle of your own kitchen table or dining room table, and have pictures of your kids in there. So then they have to watch.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's something where it looks beautiful. You set it out, it looks really cool, and you pick it up, and you're like, oh wow, this is interesting. And adults are fascinated with it. You show it to your friends that come over, a conversation piece. They'll look at it, and children will sit there and just play with it for hours.
Yeah, well, just looking at your video on Kickstarter, I mean, that's fascinating to watch that, and especially with the light inside. When you have the light inside going around, man, it looks like I'm in the drive-in movies. Yeah.
It's really hard to show that in a video. It looks so much cooler in life. Well, it looks cool in the video as well, but just the way that the light comes out of the slots and the way it kind of waves around in the dark, and you see this glowing like whirl of light with a cartoon inside of it. It's there's nothing like it.
Okay, so more importantly, man, you're a guy working in your garage, working on this stuff, and you go to Kickstarter, you fail once, and you learn from that, come back, and now you're up to $3,500, and you're not even finished yet, and you're successful already.
No, yeah. I mean, by the time it's done, who knows how high it could be. This last week last couple of weeks are always big.
Yes, and that's what they tell me. And so people, you go to Zoeflix, ZOEFLIX.com, right?
That's correct.
Right, that's where to see it and get a pre-production. And you get it for Christmas time, right?
Oh yeah. Even if you missed the Kickstarter, you can still get on the pre-order and get them before Christmas.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for being there. Oh, sorry. What was that?
I'm gonna say they'll be continually on sale. On Zoeflix.com afterwards.
You have to, because you're going to have kids someday. You got to send them to college. Your wife wants the mortgage paid, all this kind of stuff. Right?
Mortgage paid and a new pair of shoes.
Right. Well, wonderful. You're a delight, Les, and thanks for showing us what the world was like. And there's good parts of it that we should keep using because they're cool, right?
Yes. Don't forget, there's a lot of cool technologies that existed before television. Right. Very clever, and before there's electricity, they came with lots of different ways to entertain themselves, and they are even in some ways more entertaining today because of how simple they are.
Right. So, well, we may have to go back there if we don't use this electricity thing right.
Yeah. You get a power outage. Everyone else can be bored, and if you have a Zoetrope, you're gonna be
exactly wonderful.
Go.
Well, thanks for educating us, Les, and we go to Zoeflix.com.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.